Hi, and welcome back to Glowing Card Gaming. Trying different content, different stuff. Some of it's hitting, some of it's not. So be sure you're interacting, liking, leaving a comment, whatever you feel. Share, um, subscribe, all that crap. Uh, so this week, or actually not just the week, but today, I thought what I would do. Um, I'd been watching, other sports stuff. I think it keeps coming into my feed because, well, I'm obviously a Broncos fan. Um, I don't know how many different Broncos shirts you've seen. They're on the wall behind me. I have a signed McManus kicker that I got at auction, all of that stuff. Um, but as I've been watching these shows, one thing came across, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe I should try my hand at that, and that's on the Pat McAfee show. He does the picks every week, but he doesn't just pick which teams will win. He actually goes by the money line and the points by the point spread. So looking at his board, what he'll have is the teams that are playing, and then he'll either have a plus or minus, and then they pick with the points. Um, So what that means is we'll go ahead and do one of the games for Thanksgiving Day. They're doing Green Bay and the Lions, and the line is 7.5. So that means the Lions are favored by 7.5, which means not only do the Lions need to win, but they must win by more than 7.5 points, so 8 or better. Anything less than 8, you lose if you pick the Lions. So, that being said, I'll go through, I'll give the lines. They did make an adjustment. I will also make that same adjustment um, during their broadcast. So, I'm going to use the same line, which is, I believe, uh, not that it's a paid sponsor or anything, just so you guys know where I'm getting all my information from. First of all, it's the Pat McAfee show from today, 11/22/23, and it's from I believe they got their numbers from Bet ESPN. So yeah, odds presented by, it looks like Bet ESPN. It's a teal B with an E inside of it. It looks just like the ESPN logo inside of a B. Um, anyway, beside the point. Again, not paid. Not getting paid for this. This channel doesn't even have enough subscribers to be monetized. So be sure to like, subscribe, and so you can help get the channel moving, and share it out. So we're gonna do week 12. We're also doing this today, November 22nd, 2023, for the week 12 games starting tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll go with Green Bay and the Lions. Now, I know the Lions have a phenomenal record, and I know Green Bay just has not. They're almost. I think they might be opposite records, 3-8 for the Pack and 8-3 for the Lions. That being said, I don't like big point spreads, and there are many this week. 7.5 is you know, generally the team that's home usually gets 7, just tacked on immediately, and then they make the adjustment from there, depending on how the rest of the betting's going. Um, so this one's tough at 7.5. I still think it's probably going to be the Lions, minus 7.5, meaning you subtract those 7.5 points. They start off uh, like behind 7.5 points. You can think of it that way too. So I'm going to take the Lions 7.5 on that one. The next one we have also tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, is Washington and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys are favored by 12.5. That's a huge number. I hate huge numbers. They almost never cover the spread when you have big, and really anything over 10 is really tough. Although somebody did earlier this year, they were like 16 or something. They won by 30 or something ridiculous, which is probably like the Cowboys and Green Bay, or the Cowboys and the Cardinals or something like that. That all of that being said, I the Cowboys are a scoring juggernaut. Um, the I keep wanting to say the old team name. Washington, I think, can keep it within that 12.5. So I'm going to go for Washington plus 12.5 points, meaning they can still lose by 12 points or fewer, and I will still win. The next, also on Thanksgiving Day, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks. And San Fran is favored by 7. And actually, if I'm reading this right, all the bottom teams are at home, so that gives me a little bit of an advantage on how these games are being scored. So it's in Seattle. San Fran is favored by 7. And it's weird because usually they do half a point. So anything that's even is very strange because you can have a wash. So if San Fran wins by exactly 7, I think it's a wash and no one wins. Like it's a push. You get your money back. I believe that's how that works. I don't. I know like what all the betting stuff means. I just don't do a lot of betting. In fact, I don't do any sports betting. The other stuff I do is usually table games, craps, roulette, 21, typical poker. I'll do that, and slot machines. Generally, the mainstays. All that being said, I've gotten off track a little bit. I really think San Fran is headed to the playoffs. They are probably one of the top 4 teams in the NFL this year. So San Fran plus 7. I'm probably gonna lose on this one, but I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna go San Fran San Fran to win -7 on that. The next one we have is the Black Friday game, which is new. I don't believe they've ever had a football game on Black Friday. I wonder if that's a marketing thing to take some sales away from brick and mortar stores by Amazon, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be on Amazon Prime. That's how you're going to be able to watch that game. So maybe not so much people out shopping, home watching this game. So we got the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets, and the Dolphins are favored by 9.5. Remember what I said about 10? It's tough for me. I really want to pick the Jets, because 9.5 is huge, but usually 10 is the line, I think, where because we just saw Washington at 12.5, and I had to pick Washington plus 12.5. And if I did I say that? Washington 12.5, San Fran -7, and Lions -7.5 so far. I am gonna go with Miami 9.5. I know that's a lot, but Miami can score a lot of points. The Jets are just in like the worst position right now because they are all over the place. They are a big mixer of garbage right now, and I just don't think they're going to be prepared for Sunday. That being said, I'll take the Dolphins minus 9.5. Here might be one of the easiest games in my opinion to pick. We're going to the Sunday games, and the first one is the Steelers and the Bengals. The Bengals are at +1. The Bengals are also without their starting quarterback. They are also having a little bit of issues. Maybe not on defense, but maybe on offense. They have a lot of starters that are out, so I think this is really kind of an easy call. Steelers -1. I'm going to take Steelers -1 on that. And then we have the Carolina Panthers, Tennessee Titans, and the Titans are favored by 3.5. I should have the records pulled up. I think that Carolina is doing well this year. One moment. I just want to see their record real quick, so I'm just going to pull up on my phone the NFL and see if I can get standings real quick. Oh no! Updates! Updated. Yeah. This is the worst time. I should have made sure I had all of this. And you know, the show, the YouTube channel is going through some changes. You can see I've done a little bit with the lighting as opposed to the past. I now have a different microphone. I kind of tried to hide it, but I probably just bumped it. Sorry for the audio, folks. But I'm trying to get everything a little better. So again, we have it. There's the update. It's good. Let's check this out. Opening the NFL app. Again, we're looking at the, I don't want alerts. Continue. Okay. So they don't. Scores, standings. Here we go. Perfect. So let's find the Carolina Panthers real quick. Oh, I'm glad I looked. Panthers are 1-9, so they've won one game. Tennessee, they must be bad as well. 3-7. Tennessee's at home, better record, and that Carolina Panther 1-9. I got to take Tennessee -3.5. That. I think that's kind of an easy pick as well, actually. And then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 2.5. Colts are 5-5, and the Bucks are 4-6. Pretty even. Generally, what you see is the home team gets 7. So really, they're thinking Tampa Bay by 5.5. Why they're thinking that, I don't know. I'm going to take the Colts at home 2.5. Colts 2.5. This is an interesting one. You have New England Patriots at the New York Giants, and that one, the Pats are favored by 3. I don't know what the Giants' record is. Let me look at that real quick. 3-8. Oh, and the Pats are 2-8 or what are they? They're bad too. Boy, they have some even matchups today. 2-8. 2-8, huh? Giants 3-8. They haven't had their bye yet. Giants are at home. Pats really don't look good. I've seen a few of their games this year. I'm actually going to go New York +3 on that one. Give me New York. I know I'm picking a lot of the home teams, but that's the way I feel about it. We got a divisional game. The New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. They're both in the AFC South or NFC South. Saints are 5-5 on top of the division. The Falcons are 4-6, right behind them, second in the division at 4-6. Weird. The Falcons are favored by 1 at home. These divisional matchups are so hard to call. It's a coin toss. I'm going to go Saints +1. I don't really have a reason for it. I'm just going to pick the Saints +1. I don't have any clear reasoning behind it. Then the next game we're going to pick is the Jaguars and the Texans. So Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Texans 6-4, Jaguars 7-3. Divisional matchup again, and again we have a 1-game disparage. Texans at home +2. I'm gonna go Texans +2 at home. Give me the home team advantage this week. I don't know. And then we got the LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Interesting. This is a pick, meaning there's no points given. It's an even money game. Nobody's been given any points. It's straight up win-loss, whoever can win or lose. I'm gonna go the Rams. Just on the record alone, they seem to be the better team. Arizona, year in and year out, not very good. So give me the Rams. No points. Rams win. Now we come to the game I've already talked about, so I'm just gonna make my pick. The Cleveland Browns at the Denver Broncos. Again, I'll just give a small recap. I think that the Denver offense is better than the Browns offense. Both have phenomenally good defenses right now. Both teams are kind of rolling, although Denver's won 4 straight and Cleveland's won 3 straight. Denver is at home, and if they can clean up the penalties and clean up the offense just a little bit, I think Denver wins this game. And I already said, I think it was 17-13. So I think they win by 4. The line is 2.5 in favor of Denver. So Denver -2.5. I'll take, and actually this is the game that when the McAfee show was doing it live, they or live or however they record it, the line had changed, so it was only 1.5 for Denver. So I'll take Denver -1.5 on that one. I think that's a pretty easy one. Now we have another divisional game, the Kansas City Chiefs at, I almost said Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. Chiefs are favored by 8.5. That's an interesting one, being that the last 3 games they've been shut out in the second half. Raiders, I mean, they're 4-5 right now. 4-6. But they're no slouch of a team, and when divisional teams play, they just go all out, especially in the AFC West. And with Kansas City being shut out in the last in the second half, in the last 3 games, not scoring in either the third nor the fourth quarter, I don't. I think the Chiefs probably win that game, but I don't think they cover the 8.5. I'm gonna go Raiders 8.5 on that one, plus 8.5. We got the Bills and the Eagles. Oh, Eagles are 9-1, and they're at home and they're favored by 3.5. So I'm gonna take the Eagles minus 3.5 on that one. Um, I mean, until the Eagles start losing some games, I can't really go against them. Um, and that actually both the Broncos and the Eagles games this week will tell us how good both those teams really are. Um, so I'm taking the Broncos minus 2.5. I'm taking the Eagles minus 3.5 on that. Two more games to go. Aren't you glad? I can shut up and you can move on to the next video. Um, anyway, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the LA Chargers. These teams move around so much. I'm just so used to, you know, uh, the Washington football team or the Washington Commanders, what they were before. I'm used to the San Diego Chargers. They were there for 46 years. It's hard for me to say anything. Oakland's moved. Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders have moved from Oakland to LA to Oakland to um, wherever else they were. I think they might have been in San Diego for a season and then back to LA, and now they're in Las Vegas. So it's tough to keep track of certain teams or not say certain things. Baltimore Ravens favored 3.5, even at the LA Chargers. Again, I almost did it again, and I was just talking about it. What's the records? I need to see what the Ravens are. Their Ravens are AFC North. They are 8-3. Oh, the Chargers aren't that good. I'm going to take Baltimore on the road, minus 3.5 on that. And then we have for Monday Night Football, the final game of the week, Bears Vikings. The Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I don't know why I was thinking Denver played the Eagles. I was thinking Denver played and beat the Eagles. No, it's the Vikings they were playing. I have everything totally screwed up in my head. Tired for whatever reason, a little insomnia on Monday night. So forgive me for being a little cuckoo and not knowing everything straight the way it's supposed to be. Minnesota has the odds at minus 3.5. Do I pick the Bears plus 3.5, or do I take the Vikings minus 3.5? The Vikings are at home, though the Bears almost beat the Lions, which is significant because the Lions are good. Did they almost beat them on the road? They did almost beat them on the road. I don't know. I don't see. Is this a divisional game? If it's a divisional game, it's more of a coin toss. Let's see, Bears. Yep, it's divisional. But Bears 3-8, Vikings are 6-5. And really, if they would have beat the Broncos last week, they'd have been 7-4. And I bet they would be if the Vikings had beat Denver. I bet the line would be minus 7.5. So I think this one will go Vikings minus 3.5. Bears just they aren't there yet. They're coming along. It's what they call a rebuilding year, and probably by the end of the year they're going to be there. They're going to start winning games. I think it's going to be a little too late for this season. I think they probably fall short of the playoffs. But yep, that's my final pick is Vikings minus 3.5. So we will come back and do a quick recap. Um, I will see how I picked across the board, whether I was correct or not with the point spread, and we'll come back and I'll tell you what my record is, what I was successful in picking, what I failed to pick, and then we'll probably do that like Tuesday night, the 28th. So expect that video 11/28. And then on the 29th, we'll go ahead and do another one of these for week 13. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought I would, because I get to talk about the entire league, not just the Denver Broncos. So there you go, week 12 picks. Again, this is Adam with Glowing Card Gaming, and if you have some comments, you disagree, you agree, let me know, and we'll catch you next time. And as always, be good to each other.